Hello once again to another episode of the Ultimate Contest. Joining us today is Ancient Soris, fresh off bleh, words, what are they? Coming fresh off of beating Celathan 22, some random noob, I don't know. So he has overtaken rank 4 and is challenging the rank 2, our previous king, V15HY, because that is his official name, obviously. Um, So V15HY has held the king title for quite a while. He got a very lucky draw on the randomizer. He clocked in at rank 2 at the start of the season, challenged James 196 for the king spot and has held it since week 1 until being dethroned at the start of this week actually by Bodata, our current king. So if you haven't seen that series, I highly recommend you watch it. It was a very exciting series. But for now, let's see what we have. This is rank 4 Soris against rank 2 Vishy, as I said, and we have a Punari by Vishy. Vishy, quite the Punari player. I've seen him whip it out on multiple occasions. Seems to really favor the ship. And playing into a Hunter, of course. I mean, that's a good choice right there. Punari is probably the best thing you can hope for against a Hunter. But we'll see. Soris, I can now say from experience, is a very good player. We'll see if Vishy has what it takes here. Vishy, not disappointing though. He gave a player like Podata a run for his money in the Punari, which is very impressive. Podata, probably one of the favorites for the overall contest. I don't think that's an exaggeration. And you have stun, counter stun. Vishy prots it off. Sora is still stunned, obviously. Hunter sadly does not come with a protector. Very unfortunate for us Hunter players out there. I say us Hunter players, I don't have a Hunter. Very unfortunate for the Hunter players. And now, yeah, Vishy uses both of his stuns, um, which means that the ABs come at roughly the same time. He needs to scram though. Uh, yeah, there it is. No? RD before Scrambler, that's interesting. I would have done that the other way around. But yeah, now he puts the Scrambler. So he's mostly going to devalue the buffs here, and it's gonna come down to the hits mostly. Soris doesn't have defense left. His stun isn't up, most likely. They get their ABs at about the same time. Soris might get the stun or the RD barely in time. Yeah. With that bit of distance, actually, I think he's got it. Yeah. And now he's SB exploiting as well, so Vishy in quite a bad spot. I'm not sure what he's sticking around for. I feel like he should be resetting. Yeah, okay. He agrees with me and now gets out of range. Should be sufficient distance to get a full reset off. He gets the Ifrit as well. He can actually protect his Ifrit, unlike Soris. So when the fight happens, Soris needs to RD like right away. Vishy gets in range, dangerously low though, needs to prot. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. And Soris is dead. Yeah, nice. What a bait by Vishy. So he gets in range for the stun with some excellent movement right there. Just barely gets in range, clicks the stun, stays on low health on purpose to bait Soris into shooting at him. Even after the first shot, he is at 3% HP, doesn't RD, doesn't prot, so he's baiting the second shot by Soris. Soris goes for it, thinking he'll get it. Vishy with perfect timing gets the protector off just in time. That was really close. I think the blaster was in midair before the protector even appeared. Just in time he gets it, and because Soris went for that blaster, doesn't put his RD in time, costs him the match. So Vishy off to a quick 1-0, looking to defend this spot obviously, and Soris goes to Gemini, quite interesting. So dodging the RDX systems, I do think Vishy has more RDX versatility in his ships. Soris doesn't have the greatest arsenal of RDX ships. He mostly has, how do I say it? He has good ships for each system. He definitely has meta ships, but he doesn't have that many of them. He doesn't have good variety. And I say meta ships, take that with a grain of salt, because there are systems where he doesn't have good ships either. More focused on CQ ships, I believe. Similar to me, more focused on CQ ships than 1v1 ships. But yeah, Gemini, so we're expecting a Storm v Storm. That is the Gemini meta, so to say. Storm in Gemini, the rare Storm, I mean. If you're newer to the game, don't don't play the normal storm in Gemini. It's not gonna do well. It's gonna lose to a shock. But the rare storm, because it has so much armor and so much speed, this ship, the Easter Storm, it's really difficult to beat even for a shock, because you walk up as the shock. Normally the shock wins. Shock v Storm you normally win by just essentially winning the man fight. Like, you get in range, you do a proper item order, you should win the man fight. You just don't against this quantity of armor. You walk in one rocket with an NPC, one rocket takes more than half your health in Gemini if you're playing a stun. So Soris agrees with me, and so does Vishy. Do a quick tech check. This is pretty much what you expect, and Vishy also perfectly what you expect. Okay, so mirror tech, mirror matchup. There might be some shenanigans with range, but the odds are this is gonna be down to crits. So I'm gonna try to be clicking both of them, seeing what all the hits are, and we'll see if we can get a good match out of this. But yeah, there is some trickery to be done, there is some range play to be done, but yeah, once the fight starts, it only stops if your opponent wants it to, pretty much. Neither ship has the control to. Essentially, you can go closer without. Well, you can't go closer either. You can only change the distance between you and the opponent if the opponent allows it in a mirror matchup like this. There's nothing else you can do. So we'll see. Gonna start with the rockets, obviously. I'm always curious if people put the NPCs right away. Rockets, NPCs, yeah. Looks like Soris definitely got the better hit there. Also got one extra blaster in. Soris RDing first, that's generally not good, but Vishy has already used the thermo, so I think it's about even at this point. Soris now puts the thermo. Soris's RD is gonna end first. Should be ending any second now. Yeah, Vishy I think pulls through. No, not quite, so they're too close in the RDs, and now Vishy slightly behind, got the lower hits there. There was no overhealing, and Soris with an Ifrit as well for good measure. Soris has Ifrit on all of his ships, man. It's insane. I don't think it makes the difference there. He went in with, what was it, 26%, so very unlikely to lose there, even without the Ifrit, but yeah, Soris just getting the slightly better hits. I didn't see any overhealing. Overhealing is when you have your RD running while you're at 100% HP, and if there's no overhealing, then essentially it just comes down to the crits. The item order doesn't matter, because both ships got the same effective value out of the RD. Both ships got the same items off, because they used them at roughly the same time. The thermal was different, but the order doesn't matter, only the overall effect, if that makes sense. So pretty much comes down to crits. You can throw an argument on the Ifrit, but yeah, mostly comes down to crits there, and Vishy with a valiant effort in ABing out, but as I said, there's no real way to control the distance unless your opponent agrees, and obviously Soris wasn't going to agree with that because he was ahead in HP. We now have Vishy selecting Draconis. Now I happen to know that Soris only has a Hornfels in Draconis. Hornfels quite a weird ship, we haven't seen it much yet. It's really weird. That's all I have to say about it. It's a really weird ship. Those of you that don't know, this is what a Hornfels looks like. It's not the ugliest, not the prettiest ship in my opinion. It's a bit flat. And Vishy with a Hunter, okay. So I do think Vishy is heavily favored here. Soris also doesn't have a repair droid. But basically what this ship has is Thermo, OS, Inverter, and Corruption Cloud. And that looks like a fairly weak arsenal, and I think it is a weak arsenal if your opponent has control abilities, which the Hunter does. That's why I heavily favor Vishy, but it is an OS ship. Hunter doesn't like playing into OS, so there is potential here, and it's surprisingly survivable, because while the Inverter isn't that strong, it's still a period of just immortality. It's essentially, for most purposes, I would say it's an improved aim scrambler. The Inverter, that's the easiest way to think about it. It's a little bit shorter. I do believe it also has a shorter cooldown though, but I could be wrong on that, I don't have the exact numbers. But yeah, it offers like full damage mitigation. It actually heals you. If people shoot into it, they generally shouldn't, especially in a 1v1. But I don't know, Soris is gonna have issues breaking the range exploit, I think, and yeah, Fishy just stuns him, doesn't want to waste his own AB. But this right here is the problem, I think. The corruption cloud is what gives the Hornfels so much defense, because you just don't do damage with corruption cloud. It's really strong. Because his opponent is stunned, Vishy can wait quite a while with the RD. Still needs to be a little bit careful, but he can just AB out. Yeah. Vishy is kind of out of defense now, though. Soris is also out of defense once this time's out. So this is quite interesting. Vishy does have the faster ship. Hornfels isn't as fast as most of the meta ships. I mean, it's about the same speed as a CC, I think, maybe even slightly slower. Similar to Obsidian. Hunter, obviously the fastest ship in the game, to my knowledge. Not by a large margin, but it is, I believe, the fastest in the game. Unless the Marble beats it. That's the only ship that I see beating it. I know that a rare engineer does not beat it in speed. So Vishy should eventually get in range, but it'll take him a long time. With this distance, it'll take him a very long time. Let's take a quick look. Soris this time choosing to stick with the division drone, either forgetting to swap it out or just wanting to get, like, to break the range exploit more quickly, but he doesn't have any control ability, so... Ooh, Vishy might have been a little bit of lag there. Walks into blaster range, takes an OS. He's not that worried. Needs to RD though. Whoa, Vishy! What happened there? He had RD, 100%. That might be a bit of lag. I'm not entirely sure. We're gonna get a report from Vishy. So, unfortunately, we can't really allow lag to be a deciding factor. So there isn't a rule that says if you lag out, you can do a rematch, because people could just abuse that to get free rematches. But Soris can agree to do a rematch. So yeah, that's the background on why we don't have a rule against that. And yeah, Soris says up to you. Vishy says it's fine. He's just gonna relog and yeah, we do allow relogging. There's no rule against relogging as long as you don't do it in the middle of a fight. And he chooses Soul. So, but that means that it's a 2-1 for Soris by my count. And yeah, a little bit unfortunate there. Like, you hate to see it. It's not fun when people lag out and it costs them a match. It can happen. I really do think Vishy is winning there in that position. But yeah, if Soris can just walk into range for free and Vishy isn't able to RD in time because the game lags out, then yeah, you know, what can you do? But it is what it is, and we're gonna just deal with it and move on. So Soul has been selected, no specification on Soul Advanced yet, but that is most likely what we're gonna see here. Level 55 Soul, it's weird. People don't like it, I don't like it, you don't like it, nobody likes it, but it is a viable system to pick. There is some interesting stuff there. Basically everything has low damage. All your items are shit, which means that being tanky is quite favored, generally speaking. There are also no specialized items yet at all, including Sniper. It's only the 4 basic classes worth of items. And we'll see. Soris again in Soul Advanced with his Emperor. Quite likes that ship. I think he played it twice, 3 times, no, twice, against me as well. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what Fishy brings out, because if he sticks with his classic choices, the Punari and the CC, I think is what I've seen Fishy play the most. He's gonna be in a bad spot, but let's see. Okay, whips out a Hunter. That's quite good. As I've said in previous commentaries, I think the Hunter is favored against the Emperor quite hard, but you have to be decisive. You have to just get in there and win. You can't do a long match. There are more intricacies if it goes really long, but it's unlikely to go really long. So, assuming the match doesn't go past, say, 2 minutes, the Hunter wants a short match and the Emperor wants a long match. If it would go super long, then the Hunter is favored again. But easiest strategy on the Hunter is literally walk into range, put your buff, put your actuator, fucking go kill him. There's nothing he can do about it. The Emperor needs to needs to stay at range. That's the only thing that's gonna win him the game. And against a faster ship that also has a stun, it's difficult. You don't want to stun into the Protector though. That's one thing you can do to mess it up. So you gotta be a little bit careful. But generally speaking, Emperor should be heavily favored, unless if he plays too defensive. But Fishy, yeah, walks in, should see in buff, blaster, actuator. There we go. AB, stuns on the AB. Soris is probably gonna prot. Vishy not shooting, seems to be maybe still laggy. I don't know, this is looking really weird. He didn't shoot for a really long time there. Kills the prot. I'm not sure who wins this. Vishy had to RD quite early on, and his stun didn't get much value. Normally, you'd have the stun here. I think Vishy still wins it, barely. Ooh, Soris gets the SB slightly faster. That was really weird though. I don't see why Vishy stopped shooting for like a good 3 seconds. He should have had items. He might have been waiting for his SB, thinking like that's the more efficient play. Sometimes it's better to like hold your blaster back for a little while, like half a second, hold your blaster so you can SB faster. SB does more damage than the blaster, quite obvious. But holding it that long is not worth, so I'm not sure what happened there. A little bit confused on that, but it is what it is. Let me write him a quick message. See if we can get some confirmation on that. But yeah, Sora's leading 3-1, so quite dominant. Yeah, Fishy saying he's still somewhat laggy, so a little bit unfortunate. You hate to see it because yeah, with Sora's on 21%, that's like 1.5 blaster if you have the buff. So, and he would also kill the Protector more quickly, so the stun might actually get an extra second of value. I don't know. Very unlucky for Vishy. It's really difficult to do high level PvP in this game if you're laggy, because it comes down a lot to precision movements and quick reactions, and yeah, missing one blaster due to lag is that can make all the difference. So a little bit unfortunate. Fishy choosing Sirius again. Let's see if he can start his comeback. But yeah, just a bit unfortunate so far. Not that he played poorly. I think Fishy actually played well, and I think Fishy should have won that. It just looks like yeah, lag gets in the way. Not to discredit Soris, because his item order was quite good as well. I like what he tried to do. It's just really difficult to do it against a hunter, essentially. So, and if you notice as well, while we wait for the ships to come out, Fishy's stun was perfectly timed, where Soris couldn't quickly prod it off. He stunned him like right as the GCD started. I think either the GCD on the afterburner, I didn't see if it was the afterburner or if he did one more item. But Soris couldn't prod himself for a really long time. Basically, lost the entire afterburner. So Vishy staying in range despite not using afterburner is really good. And that's also why I think it's so unfortunate, because Vishy could have still AB'd out at the end as well. So yeah, we see Vishy with a Chrome now, and Soris bringing out a Hunter. So Hunter versus Chrome, it's a matchup that's quite contested. Some people have very strong opinions on it. I normally have strong opinions on things. I don't really have a strong opinion on this one. I really want the CC to be favored, I think, because I think Hunter doesn't have enough counters, but then I also don't want the CC to be favored because I don't like CC. I think it's overpowered. So I'm very split on which ship I want to be favored. Realistically, I think this match is about 50-50. I think it comes down to the OS crit. But let's see. Vishy obviously breaks the range exploit. It's probably gonna trap here. No? Okay, decides against it. He's gonna be range exploited though. Okay, puts the trap at the end there. Costs him 1 extra SB to do it later, but it's perfectly fine. Soris needs to be careful because OS is dangerous. Okay, puts the RD really early because that's what he has to do. And Vishy, yeah, tries to kite out a little bit on the RD. Probably gonna turn back in, I expect, because he can put prot and be quite dangerous. He needs to protect her himself though. Okay, running away, trying to stall out. Probably doesn't want to fight into the buffs. He's gotta be careful. 1 SB kills him here, and it does. Wow. Needed to prot faster. I'm not sure what's going on. It feels like Vishy's missing items. He might be having a bad day, or it might really be his net. Like, I'm not sure what's going on here, but we'll see if these players agree to a rematch. But yeah, Vishy's saying net not good, so we'll see if Soris wants to take it or not. Vishy says it's okay, well played, so I guess we're gonna jot down the result. Let's see if I'll give them one more chance before I slap down the result, because you hate to see it. We want the contest to be a match of skill, not of PCs or internet in this case. But Vishy, if Vishy doesn't want to play the round, then that's understandable as well, because if your net is bad, what's the odds that it's gonna be better in the next round? It's understandable, but we'll see. Sora's saying it's up to Vishy, so let's see what Vishy decides on. I would love to see a rematch because I just hate seeing him lose like this. I think he played quite well, but he loses three rounds in a row. He just loses pretty much just on lag, which, yeah, you hate to see it. And I think that last round is quite close. Like, the question is the Protector enough survivability there to get the next OS? If he can get to his next OS, he wins that 100%. Nothing more to discuss on that one. Okay, and Vishy's saying he has to go, so. So yeah, Vishy needing to go. That means a 4-1 result favoring Soris. Soris will be ascending to the 2nd rank. And Vishy dropping down to the 3rd, Mr. Big dropping down to the 4th. So, hope you all enjoyed these matches. A little bit unfortunate on the performance part. I mean, internet performance, not player performance for Vishy, but, you know, that's life. Sometimes it sucks. Sedathon22 signing out. I still don't know how to end videos. I'm sorry, guys.